You'll see this is a brand new blade. We're calling this a Barong. I wanted to do a blade project that was all thumb stud only. We very often have a slot in our blades, so I wanted to mix this batch up. So when I approached Andrew and said, hey, let's do a stud only blade, we wanted to make sure it was a blade that fit, and what we came up with was this leaf style blade. We're calling it a Barong, like a Filipino short sword that were leaf shaped like this. And here's one of the samples. So you can see it flares out towards the center, and it still comes to a relatively delicate tip. Not quite like a clip point, but for how broad it is, it still comes to a nice point with a continuous curve along the entire edge. And also on this blade, we decided to extend the jimping further along the top edge of the knife. So you still have that further out here. After we wire cut our blades, do the machine we need to, they go to heat treat and they come back. As soon as they get back from heat treat, they go to the surface grinder and get ground to thickness. So all these blades right here are off the surface grinder and all the same thickness. They gotta go back on the grinder for the other side to get to the final thickness. So after these are surface ground on both sides, and they're all the same thickness, we're gonna take them over to the burger grinder, and I am gonna work on the bevel grinding. I plan on making this nearly a full flat grind. Might leave a little bit of spine right there, but we will see how both these curves work with the bevel and what ends up looking good. Blades are now ready to be bevel ground. I have the programming dialed in on the burger. We're gonna set one up on the red side here, cut it, put it on the blue side, cut it, examine the grind. We'll take some measurements. I'll walk you through some of the decisions I made about why I chose to do the grinding style I'm doing on these. Let's see it happen. And we'll cut side 2 on the blue side here. So we're gonna run a couple blades here so we can make sure the grinder's cutting consistently through like 5-6 blades. Sometimes these wheels can be a little bit finicky. And on the first one I cut for the day, my grind might not be perfect. But this one looks like it started out pretty good. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. And I will check my tip centering. When you look along the edge, you can see those lines along either side. Do the same thing on the spine. There. Put those scribe marks, and you can see that that center of that tip is right in between those two lines. There's the fresh raw grind, and this is a tumbled one. So same thing. This has gone through the process of the hard milling for the bearing pocket and tumbling for a stone wash finish. This is the finish that will be on the knife. On the slims, I'm switching to a new bearing. We were previously using 1mm bearings. This is a 1.2 ceramic bearing we're putting in our slims now. To talk about the grind a little bit is, I originally was gonna come off here and do a full flat grind on this, which is the grinding style I've been favoring a little more recently. But I was looking some into the history of the Barong, which is a Filipino short sword, and they were characteristic for being very thick and heavy. And this is a slim style blade, so to kind of keep a little bit of that history in there, I wanted to leave some of the thickness in the spine throughout, kind of just as a call to the tradition. Not that it was even a knife, but I like to see some of that inspiration still in the design. A lot of the Barongs are anywhere from like 8 to 22 inches. I think later on they typically ended up being like 18 to 22. But this is a knife that's inspired by that weapon, both ceremonial and wartime weapon. And I think it carries that look. And with this grind, so what I decided to do is traditional, it's a very similar bevel to what you see in our clip point, but because of the blade shape, it ends up looking quite a bit different. So if you look, and this is sharp, where this is not, so a little more material is going to come out. We're looking, you know, probably about 750 before the edge is on there, where this is same thing. Yeah, about 750. Like I said, this edge, you know, takes some material away, so it measures a little different. The Barong has a very extreme continuous curve, so much so that the plunge starts under where this cutting edge is here. So you have some curve behind it, and then curve in front, where generally, you know, that's going to be straight and then start to curve. So keeping a standard bevel on there, this line has to be perfectly parallel to that the whole way. And that's what allowed me to kind of keep the spine thickness and having this very curvy grind in there. So let me walk you through some of the sharpening details on this. We'll put it together, we'll cut some stuff up, see how we like it. 240 belt, fixed angle, the Barong. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to take this tip protector off. We leave that on so when it stone washes and it's going through the stones and tumbling, the tip doesn't get too rounded. Just that's what I want to see. Very simple. The way this ground, basically I have to follow the same path when I sharpen. And this continuous curve, it makes things trickier and easier at the same time. When you do something like a clip point, like this, where it's flat, you're pulling, 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 then you turn. So you just kind of get used to that flow, that straight, and then turn. Looking pretty good. I didn't create a burr yet. So if your edge is like this, your actual bevel, when you cut it, you know, you take one side in, you take the other side in, and eventually they cross over. When they cross over, you get a burr. So I want to get a burr along the whole edge. Then when I switch to the leather belt, you knock that burr away and you have a sharp knife. You can actually feel it. You can see my fingernail catch on it. So now I'm going to throw the leather belt on and we'll knock that burr off and we'll have a sharp edge. Pretty good. Let's get this built and cut some stuff up.
Is it time?
I think you're gonna like this one.
I already know, I'm in love already. I don't know if it's because it's a new blade or what.
It's because it's a new blade.
Let's get down to business here. We got stuff to cut. Oh yeah. That point just grabs. Okay, it's slicey. Very, very easy. The thin edge, thin point. This is the hard stuff.
That looks super easy.
This is probably the easiest cutting, and it's even picking that up. The easiest cutting I've done in a long time. It's awesome.